channel, thanks for coming by. Or if you're a regular viewer, welcome back. Either way though, sit tight because you're in for a real treat today. What's that, you ask? Well, today I'm going to share with you the text messages you can send a man to make him fall in love with you. Now, before you get all worked up or start panicking that this is a huge, seemingly impossible challenge, don't. Stay calm and believe me, this isn't as hard as it sounds. Better yet, in this video, I'm going to give you text messages that you can use yourself. This means that all you have to do is listen to what I say here and plug these messages into your phone. Simple as that. That said, there are of course going to be situations or circumstances where these messages need adapting. I mean, you're not going to text a man about a trip to Cuba if you've never left the country. But again, don't worry, I'll give you the templates and then all you have to do is personalize them. Before I get ahead of myself though, I do have to mention that there are some super important rules to keep in mind. Now, I say rules because you should never do them. But really, they're just tips. Let me use rules as an acronym to help you remember these pointers though. R, reread your messages. Before you hit send on your phone, it's important that you read the text message you've typed up. Check for clarity, spelling, and tone. Read it at least 5 times. You'd be surprised how easy it is to overlook even the simplest mistakes. Besides, if you send him a powerful message that has to be followed up with a spelling correction or explanation, then the original message you've sent is going to lose its bite. So don't sell yourself short, read your messages before sending them. U, use visual language. Now, when it comes to text messaging, men and women are quite different from one another in terms of the types of messages they best respond to. See, while us ladies like getting messages that are descriptive and evoke feelings, men on the other hand are visual creatures, so they respond best to descriptive words that will easily let them imagine what you're saying. Let me give you an example. Instead of texting him something like, I really miss you, you could send him something like, I really want to kiss you right now. See the difference between the two? There's not much, but those little subtle things make a difference. So take the time, put in the details, they do matter. L, leave him wanting more. This one's pretty self-explanatory, so simply put, it just means don't overdo it. If you're blowing up your man's phone with pointless messages, then he isn't going to look forward to hearing from you. However, if you only send him well thought out, cleverly crafted messages, well, those are the ones that are going to keep him hanging off your every word, or text rather. E, excite him. So avoid boring messages. I don't know about you ladies, but there are few things that bother me more than the 1 or even 2-word text message. You know the ones I'm talking about. Hi or what's up. They make my skin crawl. Maybe it's because they come across as lazy or they give me the impression that the person sending it is just bored and texting for their own entertainment. Or maybe it's because they don't really make me feel, well, anything, aside from irritated. Anyways, enough about my feelings. My point I'm making is that every message you send, your man should be excited. Now, I know this can be tough, especially if you have the kind of relationship where you communicate daily through text and share those little thoughts and updates. But seriously, believe me when I say that it's time to stop. From here on out, you want to make sure that every text message you send is captivating and exciting. I'll touch more on this later. Now, last but certainly not least, S, stay positive. Again, this one seems self-explanatory, but it's definitely important enough to mention. If you want to make your man fall in love with you by texting him, then the absolute last thing you want to do is send him anything that's negative or depressing. Sure, you'll have your not so great days, but even when those strike, keep your messages pleasant. While there's a time and place for opening up and letting your guy in on those vulnerable thoughts and feelings, texting isn't it. So from now on, think of text messaging as your positive pocket-sized device and only send messages that express feel-good thoughts. So those are the rules, and as I go through this video, you'll want to keep those in mind. Got it? Good. Well, with those up your sleeve, you're already on your way to texting your way into his heart. One last thing before I dive into the bulk of this video though, if you enjoy what you learn here today or find what I share at all helpful, then please do me a huge favor and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Not only will I appreciate your support, but it's you who keeps allowing me to come out with new content. So please don't forget to click that little red button below. Now, let's get to the good stuff, the text that'll make a man fall in love with you. Number 1, the thinking about you text. If you've been looking for a way to make your man fall in love with you, then this is a great text to start out with. Now, when I say start out with, I'm assuming that you've already met the man and have been seeing him for at least a little while. If you're looking to find out what kind of text to send a man to initially get his attention and make him interested in you, then check out my channel because I do have other videos that are better suited for that sort of scenario. So again, this kind of text and the other ones I'm going to share in this video are intended for if you're already in a relationship with a man. Now that that's established, let's get to the nitty-gritty of this kind of text message. Simply put, the purpose of this type of text message is to do exactly as its name implies, to let your man know that you're thinking about him. But as simple as it sounds, the effect it will have on your guy will be profound. Since it's so easy for us to get beat down by the to-dos of everyday life, then there's no denying that something as small as an unpleasant or demanding text message can make you want to pull your hair out and crawl under a rock. So then, if you can be the reason your man smiles when he looks at his phone, then slowly but surely you're going to bound his heart to you. To be the positive boost he needs or ball of sunshine in his life, consider sending a text like the following. Hey, I was driving to work this morning and I heard the Beatles song that was playing the first night we met. It made me think of you. Or another example could be something like, you've been on my mind all morning. I can't wait to see you later. Yes, both of these are pretty simple, but the thinking about you text messages are a perfect instance for when less is more. That said, the next few texts I'm going to share with you are a little bit more complex. Number 2, the drive me wild text. If you're looking to make a man fall in love with you, then it's important that you give him what every man desires: sex. Fantasy world for you and your man to explore together. It's a space to say the things that you might not be brave enough to voice out loud, and the chance to tell him all the things that turn you on. For example, let's say that you really love when he kisses a certain part of your body, but anytime you even think of telling him, you feel yourself blush or get awkward. This is exactly the kind of stuff that you can text him. Just be sure that when you do, you make your message as detailed and descriptive as possible. As I already mentioned, men are visual creatures, so you're going to want to really paint him a picture with your words. Sending him, your kisses drive me wild, is okay, but a text like, I cannot wait to feel your lips graze my body tonight. You know the spots that turn me on. That's the kind of message that's going to get him going. Best of all, you don't even have to live out the fantasies you describe here. But that said, just be careful not to explicitly agree to do anything that you have no intention of doing. If you do, then he'll think that you're just all talk, or in this case, all text, which, as you can imagine, is a bit of a turnoff. Number 3, the I love your ... text. Now, this kind of message can be as PG or X-rated as you like, and it's completely up to you. And yes, I will give you examples of both. Before I do though, it's important to explain why these kind of messages make men fall head over heels for the woman sending them. Here's the thing. So many men feel like they don't get enough compliments from their women. Now, as much as this is, yes, our fault, don't beat yourself up over it. After all, society's designed this sort of weird perspective where women are the ones who long for and look for compliments.